2, 3, 4.
Good morning. My typical Monday involves going on social media, checking out other trumpet players, seeing what they're up to, maybe checking out a couple of trumpet playing YouTube licks to kind of inspire myself and get into the mindset of picking up my own horn and starting my day, my first practice session. And there are two things that I'm thinking about this morning. One is I follow some trumpet players that keep track of their practice time, how much time they spend on the horn, which actually is a wonderful thing. I did it myself at Humber, and I actually got pretty crazy because I made a spreadsheet that would calculate from 1 week to the next things like, how am I doing with Clark number 2? What's the tempo marking? Can I play it at 80 beats per minute last week and now I'm up to 92? And what does the percentage look like? Some weeks I would go down, which is okay because you want to measure a trend over a longer period of time than just week to week. I would say though that the biggest thing that I focused on since leaving my day job is the quality of practice. I don't want to just randomly practice things. And most recently, I have focused on what Greg Spence would call the process and not the end result, which is really paying attention to various things that my body does, how I'm positioned, how I breathe in. And that leads me to my second thought, which is if I had to pick one single thing that has contributed to my improvement on the instrument over the last, let's say, month or two, and maybe even longer than that. And I should preface saying that, of course, you need to spend time on the horn, you have to practice, got to practice smart, and it's always hard to, for me at least, to isolate just one element of what I think is a complete system. However, if you ask me today, after having a nice cup of coffee, what is one element that contributed to your improvement over the last little while, that being over the last month or two? It is definitely breathing in. How do I breathe in? And that led me to think about a couple of ways that have been described to me about breathing in. So for example, for my own students, I would relate to just yawning. However, when I noticed my own yawning, there's two different ways I yawn. One is I just use shallow breath, which is not that great for trumpet playing. And sometimes when I have a big yawn, if I'm really bored or really tired, I might take a big yawn that fills my tummy. And that's the kind of breath that we want. It's an open feeling here. Another thing that is really popular in Toronto and obviously around the world with some is using some sort of tube. I bought this for, I had a pool at one point and it was like an above ground pool, nothing permanent, it was like a temporary pool. But then I had this lying around and it's basically a tube I can put in my mouth and get the same sensation. And if you take Greg Spence's course, go on his website, Mystery to Mastery. I think he's got like a 7-day free trial going on and a 50% promotion. I'm not affiliated, I'm just a participant of the program, and I really am enjoying my time in the program. He uses his finger, his index finger, curling it around like this, just to stimulate the breath in and of course the breath out. So since taking that course, I've essentially started my mornings like that. Social media, checking out YouTube to get good trumpet sound and maybe even bad to know where the lines are for me, and breathing, how to properly breathe in. And then you translate that to your horn. That was my first note of the day. So maybe something to think about. Thanks for listening to me and have a great day.